two negatives in math equal positive. That's horrible math in a marriage, because two negatives, worn out, empty people will never create any sort of healthy, fulfilling marriage. So I think it's combating the busyness that we see everybody is into.
So what you're really saying is the marriage can't come very first. What needs to come very first is filling our own cup, making sure that we aren't showing up exhausted, which really makes sense because we always talk about self-differentiation, that we need to have that individuality. And it doesn't probably need to take a lot of time. That doesn't mean that
it takes a lifetime, I love.
A little at a time. Yep.
I never fully know who I am. Well, although we teach identity very strongly on this program.
But we may need to ask ourselves, what is it as part of developing our identity that helps me feel rested? What is it that lights me up?
Right.
And put more of that into our lives.
Yes.
Because it changes, right? Who I was at 20, very different than who I was at 30 and 40. I always say when Erin shares that, she's like, and it's different than who I at 40 and then who I was again at 30. So somehow she seems to lose years. I don't know how that works, but right? We all change.
Yeah.
And obviously our identity is rooted in who we are as an image bearer, as a son of the Most High. But through life, I've got to keep up with how am I changing in this new season. Like just before I got onto this podcast with you guys, you know, my wife got a call from hospice where her dad is just at the final stages of his life.
Mm-hmm.
Well, between this moment and when I get home, my wife is a different person, right? Yeah. Just that reality of, because her mom is already with the Lord and all of what that means for her. And if I don't then pursue that knowledge of Aaron, of who you are now and what's different and how can I best love you now? And that is a part of the identity within our relationship, is going, I want to stay on top of that stuff because we're always changing.
Yeah. And that kind of
is
a
true.
transition.
That is so true. That is so true. Again, we've hit on another paradox. We're supposed to know ourselves, but we're always changing. What? I didn't sign up for this.
What noise goes along with that one?
Huh?
What noise?
What special noise track? Causes me to sit back like crickets chirping and ponder. I like that. See, he's good.
Yeah.
Life's paradoxes, right? I mean, we never fully know who we are, but yet we're always changing too. So it's a constant quest. And that's why you can never really get done with teaching about marriage, because it's always changing. Everything is changing.
Because as individuals, we're constantly changing.
Constantly revamping our garden.
Yeah, my parents both passed away this summer, and I think in the framework of what you just said, it changed me. And Scott couldn't figure that out. He hasn't experienced that yet. And I think it kind of threw him for a loop, me for a loop. And so exploring again those questions about what is it that turns me on, what lights me up, what helps me rest, and what do I need to rest from?
Yeah.
It might not be the same kinds of things that I was resting from before. But I also have a question for you about how to have a more playful and fun element to our marriage when we feel exhausted. Any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think what Aaron and I really try to do, because that would be one of our defining, talk about identities for our marriage, is just humor and laughter and playfulness. We just really value that. And I don't always think that's going to come naturally or normally for someone, not even for us. We have to really look for ways to do that. And the couple things that we really try to do is we do have all of our little inside jokes and our little pet names and, you know, the little glances to where we'll smile when someone says whatever, because we're like, oh, we don't even need to talk about it. But we also have gotten really disciplined to take moments when we reunite, you know, either around the dinner table or maybe later when we're laying down in bed. We might watch something funny. Inevitably, she's found 2 or 3 little reels from social media that cracked her up that she's going to show me, and we're going to laugh together.